Salute and thank you, NERDSoul. Oh yeah, late ill kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that street geek and NERDSoul. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Let's go. You best believe it. It's NERDSoul Gaming, and we got a packed house. Before we get started, I'm gonna give a shout out to the one and only God of Destruction, Open Mind. What's up?
What up, NERDSoul family? What's up, NERDSoul? What's up, everybody in the FGC world, in the gaming world? I'm back again. Glad to be back on the show with the homie NERDSoul, man. Brother from another mother. What's good?
Yo, man, we chilling. And we also got the Boss Hog, King distributor of all those indie books in the Gulf Coast. I give to you Coop of Blurtish.
Hey man, I'm open to critique and everything. Inside joke. But hey, I like to give people what they want, distribute to all folks, man. I'm trying to be like, the Don Dada, like the penguin, man, and be of the people. Except I really am of the people, and I want to give you books. Holla at me.
Yep. So
I just want to give a
today. I guess you could say today is all about the good old Microsoft Xbox. Today, we ain't talked about Xbox by itself for a long time, but Xbox been trying to make a couple waves. They've been shifting, changing, and Mr. Spencer has been he been a little bit vocal, and there's some people upset, but you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna get into some stuff as far as their marketing lately. I sent you guys some videos, and lately, Xbox they've been changing their game up. They got a new marketing campaign, like the PC Gamepass, we got you. They got a marketing campaign of this is an Xbox, kind of showing the different things you can play Xbox Game Pass on, basically saying anything can be an Xbox, you know what I'm saying? And they also went out and said, hey, look, if you got an Amazon Fire TV stick, the 4K Max or whatever, look, you can play Game Pass on that. They're making gaming accessible to everyone. It's a renewed outreach program, if you will. They said, hey, look, no matter who you is, you can play.
I wanted to ask a question about that, just to clarify. And first of all, I want to say this. I just want to give a random shout out to Solar Gray. Just because. Just random for no reason. Shout out to Solar Gray.
Shout out to Solar.
Right. But no, I wanted to ask about that because I've been reading the article. I know you said it to me. I just want to make sure I'm clear. Are they saying I can play Xbox on my Android phone as long as I download the app?
Yeah. The Xbox app, they're not renewing. They've already done it, I think. The Xbox app, you're going to be able to play Game Pass on that, and you'll be able to, a lot of people buy the controllers for your game, for your cell phone, or just without that, you can just play Game Pass games on that, and you're going to be fine, and it'll run the cloud-based kind of gaming just as good as anywhere else. That's the pitch.
So I would like to say this then, because I know at the top of the show you said we haven't talked about Xbox in a while. You and I really gave Xbox, that heat the last show you and I did. We gave Xbox some heat. So I want to stand corrected, right? I am a man about mine, you know what I'm saying? I take accountability when I'm wrong, right? I said that Xbox wasn't going to make it. But I also said pending circumstances, if they do this, if they do that. It seems to me, and I seriously doubt they watched our video, right? I don't think they watched.
I mean, Phil Spencer knows. He watches our video. He knows it.
So Phil Spencer, so maybe he caught the video and decided, okay, let me prove Open Mind wrong. Because all I was really saying in that video was, if they don't do blank, 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 they're not going to make it. Well, it seems to me, and I stand corrected here, that they're doing what I said they should do, which was give you the ability to take your Xbox gaming experience anywhere you go, which is what PlayStation needs to do. This is why PlayStation Vita died and went to the wayside, because you had to have the Vita or the PSP, whatever it is. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, I think it was the PSP first, then the Vita, right?
It's the fact that it was not only it was two strikes against the Vita. When you get a Vita or PSP, whatever, if you wanted to play any game that's PlayStation made, you had to get the watered down version of it. You couldn't You couldn't just play what's on your PS3 or PS4, whatever, on your Vita. You had to get a separate game and pay a separate $40 for whatever it costed. And it was a watered down version of it. And it was automatic Wi-Fi or ad hoc, which is Vita to Vita play with somebody who got a Vita, y'all in the same room. That's what ad hoc is. Or if you're going online to play against somebody or just going online for whatever reason, it was strictly Wi-Fi. And there was no way to take your Vita and play the games that you already have in your PlayStation Cloud. Well, and that's why Nintendo, the OG of all of them, the rich uncle that lives out there in the country with his big ranch, that's why Nintendo is gonna always win. And if I ain't gonna say win, gonna survive the console wars.
Open. Let me say this. No, you had it right. I listened to your last two videos. Yeah. Let me stress this. I'm not to jump in like Kanye. No, Nintendo will always win, and this is a simple fact. Yeah,
but that's what I mean. Because they. Go ahead.
Oh, the simple fact is and I'll throw in some business stuff here, and you can find this report. They are the most liquid, cash-rich gaming thing in Japan. They have won.
Wow.
More like not winning. They have won. Now there are going to be differences of Microsoft, because Xbox is just a division of Microsoft, but we'll get more into that. But far as strictly pure gaming, Nintendo has won resounding, and we'll get more into that.
And the reason they won is not so much as the longevity portion or the soccer mom PG games stuff. I know that's part of the reason, but the main crux of why Nintendo is still going to survive and has survived this long is because you have the ability to play your games wherever you are. The Nintendo Switch of it in and of itself hooks up to a big TV to give you the couch experience, as well as take it with you. And instead of buying a generic version of it because it's on handheld, you can pick up where you left off over grandma's house for the holidays. You take your Switch with you and you can finish up Mario Galaxy or Zelda, whatever you was playing on your Switch. You can just finish up on your last save point versus the Vita where you got to have two games and spend $40 two times or $50 two times. Well, Xbox is doing that thing that I said they should have did on last video. That's why I say I stand corrected. I gave Xbox HE double hockey sticks. I did, and I'm going to own that. I'm going to own that.
Actually, I'm going to say you're not wrong, and I'll explain as Mike get more into topics. You're not wrong either which way, because they may have ticked some people off, but I understand. But we'll go forth. I know we got to go into the topic.
Yeah, I'm a touch on that. There are some people. With me, I'm thinking, all right, Xbox, they're doing a renewed outreach. They have the console, and they're saying for anyone who might not have the console, if having or owning a console is too high a barrier, don't worry about that. Come on in. You can still play the Xbox. But it seems that has ruffled some feathers. There's some people that own Xboxes.
Oh, it ruffled a lot of feathers.
They're saying that
y'all teach me because I missed this. I've been busy, so y'all teach me. Yeah, what's up? What happened?
They're saying that you're devaluing the Xbox, that the experience should be console only. They're saying that not only are you kind of, I guess, dumbing down the serious nature of Xboxness, I guess.
Can I take this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because a certain YouTuber, I'm not going to mention his name because I've unfollowed him because of probably political reasons. But the one topic, he was consistent that I did like his method of reporting on it, that I do get one way as a consumer. Because this is more of a consumer thing, and it's also, then there's the business side of it, the Microsoft of it all, and then there is the whiny fanboy.
Yeah. So what I was explaining is more, it seemed like a lot of Twitter whining that I saw.
It's basically, I guess, where should I start? As far as Phil Spencer being the voice and all, they did kind of lie. Like so let's just say you're a regular consumer, you just bought this thing because and you talked about this last time, Open Mind. Nintendo is separate and apart. They doing a thing, which is funny because with Switch 2, they won't be as separate. They will be a legit third option the way this will go. So they will win again. But as of now, you have two, let's say you got three options. You got console, which is also kind of slash Microsoft a smidge, but you got either you got PC, Xbox, or PS5, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So if you spend money on, say, let's say I bought a PS5 because I've always been a Sony guy, not because I'm a Sony pony, as they say, but just because I always liked the Sony PlayStation. I thought it was cool. I liked the controller. I never liked the Xbox controller when it was the first one. I thought it was huge. I was like, eh.
Yeah, the first Xbox controller, until they came out with the Type S, the first controller was tough. It was a struggle.
Me. Just looking at it, it's like, oh, that's cool, but it's like, eh. Like and just the brand recognition and say knowing that Sony makes things and Sony has had a head start over Microsoft, which was just in my mind Windows 95, and I know they do other stuff, but not as much as I know now. But so they just did not hit me as a game for the game market, just for whatever reason. That's just how it worked for me. Mm-hmm. I financed my PlayStation 2. I'll go into that later. But that's not bad. I wanted GTA because that's some way you're going to play some things. Sony just seemed to basically lucked out with better exclusives that I wanted. But far as just if I bought a thing and then it's like, oh yeah, these are going to be exclusives, this is why you should buy it. Yeah, I would feel like I got duped, especially like, oh, Indiana Jones is coming to just Xbox. Haha, that was a lie. You bought your Xbox, it's coming to PlayStation 5 a couple of months later. So with that said, it's like I could just have bought an Xbox. I could have just bought a PlayStation and I would have had a bigger open library, like if I wanted to get some like Spider-Man. So it's like, yeah, I feel consumers on that part. Now, then there's this.
But that's outside of their marketing campaign as far as like anybody being able to play anywhere. Yes. And I do think with that argument, there's a lot of people like, say for instance, there's a YouTuber, I can't RGT85.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say his name, but
I'll say his name. I
want to get it.
I know he watches the show, and I ain't got no beef with him. I'm just saying him, people that watch him, people like him are very upset about Xbox trying to get more people to play the Xbox. It seems that they're conflating their anger about the exclusives issue with the renewed outreach issue. Well, and they're not the same.
They're not the same, but also there's also the whiny fanboy / influencer side of it. The people who fell for the lies from Phil Spencer. It was like, oh, Phil Spencer's my guy, yada yada yada, and Phil kind of played some of this up, until probably the Microsoft board say, look, bro, y'all losing money.
Phil Spencer,
like y'all losing money.
Now I don't know Phil Spencer personally. I don't, I know he watches the show, but he don't, all he does is hit the like button and move on. So, like, all I know is in real time, the board will come to you on Monday and say one thing. They'll come back to you on Wednesday and say another thing. So they might have came to Phil Spencer since y'all last little cool event where they flew all y'all out to they might have had another meeting that said, look, Mike, there ain't enough people buying this or paying for this or covering this, and we need to do something else.
Mike, what
because
you just
our
said
golden parachutes ain't as big as we want them to be.
Is exactly true. You know what those things are called? Quarterly reports. When those things happen, trust me, as a guy.
You know what, Blurred saying that with that part, quarterly reports. That is my gripe. My contrarian, whatever you want to call it, or my retort back at the gaming community, FGC, RPG, whatever community you represent. Y'all don't know business. And not that you gotta know business to start a business or be an entrepreneur. No. I'm not saying that in those terms. I'm saying the things that y'all complain about in the gaming community as a whole, no specific sectors, just a whole. if you would just do a little bit of research, and if you don't want to do the research, right? If you're just too lazy to do the research, you need to educate yourself on business, the business side of things. Period. We can talk about game. We're talking about gaming now, but it applies.
It's a major, massive business, tech business. It's just no rounding no more. It's the tech sector.
If you just equate a lot of these decisions, these DLC characters that we say we like and don't like at the same time, we love and we hate them, these things, these updates, these patch notes, whatever it is that y'all have decided to hashtag and make a complaint about, a lot of stuff is what Blurred just said about the board meeting, right? About the fact that we'll take Harada for example. I'll use this is my domain here.
Oh, Harada for Tekken. Yep.
Take Tekken for example to the point that I'm making. We know I am the Tekken God of Destruction. Okay. Harada said, and he wasn't joking. He was very dead serious about Heihachi not coming back, not being in Tekken 8. He was Heihachi is completely dead.
And I remember hearing that.
But here's the thing. Harada himself did not want to put Heihachi in the game.
And what Bamco said.
But Harada doesn't own Tekken. He's a dev. And we forget that he's just a dev. He's not the
people
owner.
Be thinking he owns Tekken.
He doesn't own Tekken. He's just a dev, just like a lot of the other devs.
He's kind of like the Kevin Feige for Tekken.
In fact, let me run this hold in. So Bandai Namco owns it, right?
Yeah.
And Heihachi is a super popular character, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And let's say not in Japan, which Tekken is very popular at. What do they sell outside of the video game connected with Tekken merch? So with that said, back to my point, and I'm assuming this, I'm not saying I was there when it happened. It just makes sense. It makes sense for Heihachi to have to walk with his tail between his legs and come back and face us and say, Heihachi's gonna be the DLC. He said it with such sadness in his voice. It's not something he personally wanted to do. He was serious and adamant about not giving Heihachi and making us not making him. He's dead. I killed him in 7. Blah blah blah. But then the big dog said we want Heihachi in the game. He's gonna sell more copies. And no matter how much Harada cried and said, but I just made all these different interviews saying that he's not coming back. We don't care. We signed your check. Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So back to the situation with Phil Spencer. And I'm not an Xbox player anymore. I ain't had an Xbox since Xbox One. But I'm just saying we need the gaming community to understand business first. And then maybe that will, not that your gripes will go away, not that you don't have anything to gripe about. I'm just saying you would save yourself a lot more headache and frustration if you just understood business. And a lot of questions you answer yourself. The answer to the question that you may have in this moment, this gripe that you're crying about, business will answer that question for you.
Hey,
this was a business decision.
Let me give you an example of just to take it out of games. So just with a quick statement. All the people like me and Mike talk about this all the time. Us as reviewers for just general nerd culture stuff. People like, when is Marvel gonna end? When is Star Wars gonna end? I'd be like, say the obvious out loud. Why would a company spend $1 billion per IPs for it to end? Why?
It doesn't make sense.
$1 billion, and I know they got billions, but they spent $1 billion to make $1 billion, which they have. So why would they ever stop the hamster wheel?
Look, and I don't know why literally get blood from a turnip. They will literally do it. You can't get blood from a turnip. They will try, and they will squeeze some blood out that turnip.
Marvel Comics literally made zombies, Marvel zombies. All right,
they gonna do it.
They gonna do it. Yeah,
they gonna try to figure that out.
So, and with that said, I'm passing Mike. That just last point with the business aspect behind a lot of gaming decisions. If we just sit back as a community when we see things we don't like and understand it from the perspective of marketing and the perspective of selling units and moving copies, and not just you sweaty, hardcore button mashers who don't spend no money, by the way. It's crazy. It's so ironic how the air quote, hardcore player never spends the money, and the casual players are the ones who buys all of the stuff. Who are they going to cater to? You with the big following who just uses the same character, Ken and Jin and Kazuya,
and also, and is given all of the stuff that he has for free.
Right,
especially the influencer guy. Like,
the influencer guy doesn't spend any money.
He might spend a smidge, but he get all his stuff written. If he spend it, he write it off on taxes because he can.
Yeah,
so
that's why they show you the room.
What do y'all expect these business owners who probably don't even play games? The devs play the games. We play the game. These investors, these angel investors, or these deep pockets people who are always behind the scenes making stuff happen financially for everybody. They want a return on their investment, on their stocks, on their whatever money they put up. They want it back tenfold.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna mention that on if we get to another part, but you hit a nail on the head.
Yeah. So with going in with that, so of course, talking about the exclusives, there's an idea that there won't be any more exclusives because there's an article reported by IGN saying Microsoft gaming boss Phil Spencer won't rule out any Xbox exclusive making the jump to PlayStation, including Halo. And he follows on talking about, hey, we have flagship exclusives. There's older games that have been released on PS5 as well. But now they're even talking about newer games, like maybe the Doom Dark Ages, of course.
I mean, it's going to happen. Yeah,
things of that nature. And I know there's a lot of people that are angry and upset. But if you look at it from Microsoft's perspective, they're kind of going back to what they were. A software company.
Thank you.
I mean, that's kind of what they were. Imagine getting out, being a software company, right? And this is also coming. These arguments and complaints are also coming from people that made fun of Xbox for not selling as much as PlayStation. So it's like you made fun of Xbox not selling as much for PlayStation, but then you want PlayStation. I mean, then you want Xbox to continue losing, I guess. So anyway, imagine Xbox saying, hey, we're really a software company, and that's what we really do. And we're not selling like we want to sell right here, but Gamepass is starting to really do well. So why don't we just ease up on the hardware, team up with stuff like Amazon Fire Stick, improve our cloud gaming, improve Game Pass, and then, of course, for the kind of like the niche consumer, the top line consumer, or maybe not top line, the very maybe collector type consumer, that was referenced in a CNET article recently, where you can buy the Xbox and it would be like buying a Ferrari. It's expensive, it's fun to have, but it's expensive. But then your phone or your Amazon Fire Stick is like your Honda Civic. You know what I'm saying? It gets you around and it's fun. It's sturdy. Of course, it's not going to turn heads, but it gets you from A to B. And they're trying to get their black budget, their black lines, their monies and their pennies and their nickels to B, from A to B.
Let me throw this in there. Because y'all, and I hate to be that boring type of guy, but business is the word tonight.
No, business is not boring.
This is because it's actually exciting, because Phil Spencer totally had to change. Like how you said about Harada, same thing happened to Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer went into that boardroom last year, and this whole last year, because this has been like a year thing with this mystery. Now it ain't no mystery no more, because people can kind of shut up. You know what's gonna happen. They pretty much have they have crawfished, as we say down here and in Houston too. They had to crawfish all that back. They was like, Phil Spencer had his chest puffed out. We ain't gonna do that, blah blah. The quarter report says otherwise, sir. They had to pull it up like the Amari report. but like this says otherwise, and this is why. They are a distant third in hardware sales. Keyword hardware. All right, they ain't never catching up. Nobody's catching Nintendo for about the next couple of generations. For the Nintendo is going to win this. They have won. Let me stress this. Just look up the sales for the Switch. The Switch is a legendary seller. People can be like, "Oh, the Switch is dog water." It don't matter. People like that dog water. We drinking it up. I drunk it up. Now I did buy my used the sweetheart deal, but I got one. You know what I'm saying? And I just spent a lot of money downloading stuff with Nintendo till I done filled up my SD card. So they got money. They got me back into the church of Nintendo. But I'm just saying, the whole thing with them. So Nintendo has won resoundingly. They have one of the highest selling systems of all time, handheld, otherwise, whatever. This can be found. This is factual things. Basically, if the same install base buys the Switch 2, they're going to win that generation. Hey, it's not even going to be close. PlayStation might get a little bit close, but them hollering about PlayStation 6, it got a little people feeling a little iffy, like, I don't know. But so Xbox, what you supposed to do? Like I watch a show called Company Man. I always talk about the failures and what make companies succeed. Are you supposed to keep spending money in a black hole that you can't catch up, or do you pivot? They are a software company originally. Microsoft is a software company. Xbox was the hardware of unit. It's a company, air quotations, but it's a business unit of the overall piece that goes into the thing. It's like if you look at the graphical chart, you'll see Xbox on a line down here, and it feeds up to Mr. Xbox, Mr. Microsoft. They losing money. Microsoft is the stock has been on fire. Xbox is such a small part of Microsoft. However, what did they do recently? They spent how many millions, or was it a couple of billion, on getting Blizzard?
Yep.
Basically, in business, if a unit of your business, one of your subsidiaries, can't handle the load and it ain't producing profit on its own to justify the money we spent on it, either it goes away or it better figure it out quick. So they might not get don't want to get out of gaming, obviously. But if you feel Spencer and you got some autonomy and you got some decisions, you got to come to the board and give them some ideas, or they're going to tell you and you better be in agreement. Or guess what's going to happen to you? You will be fired. You will be out there looking for employment, or you might get a golden parachute, but you got to come with something, or they're going to come with it for you. And you better come with it before they come with it for you. So
I got a gotcha moment though.
Sure,
I don't know
right.
which one of y'all just mentioned it earlier. Y'all said something about some of these air quote exclusive games coming over to PlayStation, and then there's gripes about that part, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so just making sure I'm on the same track.
Mm-hmm.
I got another gotcha moment for the gaming community in that regard, as far as these exclusives coming over to PlayStation and even maybe Nintendo. Okay, first I want to start off by saying this: you can't have it both ways. You can't complain about a game having cross-play functionality and then want the game to be exclusive to Xbox. What are we cross-playing? What are you crossing to?
True that.
If you want to challenge people on PC and PlayStation and Nintendo, and you're an Xbox person complaining about exclusivity, then what is the purpose of putting cross-play into the game, the online matchmaking, whether it's shooting, fighting, whatever the game is that y'all are crying about that's only on Xbox, that may very well find itself on a PlayStation or Nintendo or PC. Well, everything's on PC, but the Nintendo and the Xbox. If that is your gripe, gaming community, I'm talking to y'all. If you listen to this video, I'm talking to you. You can't have it both ways. How do you expect a company like Microsoft Xbox or the subsidiary Xbox to survive if they keep making exclusives? And then you're gonna come on the Twitter thread, which I'm not on Twitter anymore, by the way. I've deactivated Twitter. We'll get to that in the end of the show. But you're gonna come on the Twitter timeline to say, I don't like the fact that my favorite game, Halo, whatever, let's use Halo for example. Halo's only Xbox, but you want crossplay. So how you gonna have crossplay if they don't put the game across the aisle to the other system? You can't have both ways. Y'all
So I got a
giving me a
question.
headache.
So I got a question. There are people literally because I'm just not hearing it right. Because if this is how it sounds absurd that somebody would say, "Oh, this exclusive game, but why is there any cosplay? What is it? How?
What do you want?
How does that work?" Because that would be saying, to kind of filter into an assumption, that's like them saying, "Oh, well, Xbox bought Blizzard, so it owns Activision, so that's like saying I don't want crossplay." Well, that's like saying I want Call of Duty to be exclusive because that's the big one. But it's like if you make it exclusive to Xbox, and then but your hard, because people were laughing, ha ha ha. Oh, PlayStation not gonna get it, but what did they hurry up and do? Like, no. Like at first I thought they was lying because I thought they were really worried about hardware sales. But all these Xbox fans, but yet the hardware sales are slumping. So that means there's no growth somewhere. Something is amiss from all the Twitter chatter, but people aren't gravitating to their plastic box. So if you got
Coop,
something,
Coop, this is just this is basic math, Coop.
It is
Coop
because
and NERDSoul. Hear me out, both of y'all. And I'm not saying y'all disagree with me by no far. I'm just saying I just need y'all to back me on this point I'm finna make.
I agree.
This is basic arithmetic. This is long division, timetables, addition and subtraction. This is math. Y'all always like to say the math ain't mathing. In order for the math to math, it makes sense to put this video game or that video game on the PlayStation and on the Nintendo Switch so they can sell more copies. Because when you sell more copies, you make more money to stay in business. I'm about to go on mute because I'm finna have an aneurysm.
This is why WB let them make that terrible version of Mortal Kombat. Yes, the Switch couldn't handle it, or they didn't know how to port it to the Switch. Still stole something. It didn't hurt Nintendo's pockets. Nope. It just made more money for WB, which we know. They love to suck up money.
As hideous as it looked, they still sold copies.
Now,
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, that was it. I just wanted to say that.
Speaking of handhelds, that's another thing that seems to be ruffling feathers. So Phil Spencer was also talking about having a handheld. And the cool thing about, at least what I think is cool, because it's funny, whenever I see news and I'm like, oh man, this is cool. People are going to be able to play Xbox games, on the train, on the plane, and automobiles. Now, they're going to be able to play wherever they want, however they want. This is going to open it up for more players, and the more players, the better. Who knew? I was wrong, but apparently people don't want that. But also, so Microsoft Gaming CEO confirms plans for the Xbox handheld akin to Switch. So the cool thing about this is that he made a statement, he meaning Phil Spencer, made a statement about it being a few years off, which I'm surprised that it's a few years off, but I'm not. Who knows? Things happen faster, sometimes slower, who knows? Because I'm like, I think there's enough out there right now to kind of quickly get something together. But he did also say in this article that they already have prototypes. They're experimenting with prototypes as we speak. But the big thing is that they want to make sure that the players have the same exact experience on the console, on the computer, and then on this handheld device.
Can I jump in on something?
Which is kind of like, I guess, them learning from the issues that, say, PS Vita or maybe Switch had with the Mortal Kombat thing. So maybe that's why it's taking so long. But this is something that's ruffling feathers as well. And I'm like, this should be cool, right? But go ahead, Coop.
I will say this. I actually, that part, I kind of rolled my eyes a little bit about it. Only because, not because the concept of it is not a bad idea. I do think it sounds good from a consumer standpoint that if you see somebody making a product and a concept, yes, take your time. Do not don't rush. I actually disagree with her, so take your time, get that right. Because this is why. Because the Vita was such a failure. I almost forgot about the Vita till y'all mentioned it. In fact, the Vita has failed multiple times. I'm actually looking at a PS. I had a PSP. The PSP failed in America anyway, but
Right,
so
yeah.
they failed a couple of times on handhelds. If you're gonna do a handheld, and I think what they need to do is wait out this rough patch of the gripes between Game Pass, because they have been raising that price, so there's some legit gripes about that. But I understand they in a recouping of their investment right now from the acquisitions and trying to sort this out. I will wait till the hardware dust and hatred for us having to walk back all of our statements kind of cool off, because you want this to come with a celebration. I would take my time, and I also would like to make sure that it works. Like, if we're gonna be like, hey, we're gonna play anywhere, all that, then this handheld really needs to be able to be good enough to replace, in my mind, the console version of the Xbox and be like the Switch and be able to compete with the Steam machine. And in fact, I say it needs to be able to. I know they can't probably have Steam because that's its own thing,
Yeah.
but it kind of needs to be able to play all console games and PC, like its Xbox games, and enough PC games if it can't use Steam.
Yeah, I'm assuming that it'll be able to run anything on the Game Pass and Xbox app and stuff like that.
I would try to partner. I would see if they'll let me use Steam and make it a quasi Steam machine.
There's one thing though that I think a lot of people are missing here on this handheld concept, this cloud gaming concept, because this is a concept that's not new. It's just that they're just building upon it, or they're trying to jump into that market. Here's what a lot of people are missing about the concept of cloud gaming. Not that they're gonna not. I'm okay with the consoles being in existence, like a PS5, PS6, Xbox 3, whatever the big. If you just want that, but let's take a look at the Jetsons reality that we live in today. Right, we live in the Jetsons reality now. All of us are on this phone, on this show right now, are of age to know what the Jetsons are. Yeah. We're in that reality today. It's no longer the future, it's the now. Take a look at that, just that concept of cloud game, for example. The ability to play a game on your mobile device. First of all, we're completely dismissing the power of a cell phone and what it can do. Your cell phone can definitely run a PlayStation 5 game or an Xbox game or a PC game. It's capable. It's capable because of the technology in the cell phone in and of itself. Cell phones are $1,500 now. The iPhone,
the iPhone 16 Max or the 16 Pro Max or whatever,
and Android just as well. But what I'm saying is, the phone in itself is just the phone, but it's capable, right? It's capable of doing things. If you put the app on there or the software on there, it'll do it. Now it's still a phone. It's gonna send you a text message. You can make phone calls and browse the internet and do the basic stuff. But it has the capability and the power, the power output of a console, right? So to just cry about the fact that Xbox wants to go into the cloud gaming market, and Nintendo Switch has been doing it, and so has PC, been doing this for at least 10 years now. Let's not dismiss the ability to make money off that. So what, you spent $500, $600 on your Xbox Series S. So what, you spend $500 on your PlayStation. So what, you have a Nintendo Switch. Do you realize, and I realize, but I want y'all who listen, who click on this video to listen to what I'm saying. Do you realize, you the listener, how much money more money they would make if they gave access to all three consoles, four: Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. All four consoles via your mobile device, your Apple phone, your Android phone. Now, I'm okay with the subscription fee. You got to make some money somehow. I'm not saying give people free access to these games because they got a phone and they don't have to buy a No, make people pay a subscription fee for the cloud gaming. I'll say cloud gaming so I can encompass them all, not just Xbox Pass. I'm going to use cloud gaming to encompass all of them. You buy into a cloud gaming service via your cell phone. You pay a monthly fee or annual fee. Y'all play with the numbers and with the prices. That I don't care about that. I'm just saying that being the median, right? And then now that you have a cloud gaming account via your mobile device, cell phone, iPad, Android tablet, whatever that is, right? Whatever your device is, and now you go buy you a controller, you buy you some headsets, and your little accessories that hooks it up to the TV, whatever that looks like. You're still gonna sell. You're still gonna sell stuff because the phone screen is kind of small, and you're gonna kind of your eyes are squinting, so you kind of want to blow it up and put it on a bigger screen. So you're gonna have to buy those pieces and put your cell phone together. And the bulkiness of a console, the fact that you could spill water on it, or somebody trips over it and breaks it. Now you got to take it in GameStop and get it fixed, or buy another one and spend another $500. No. You're gonna make more money when you make things accessible and convenient. Accessibility and convenience will sell anything in this world. Go ahead.
And what's wrong with having a larger player base? But go ahead, Coop.
I just want to throw something to your point too, and it's something that we mentioned about, like having, say, Amazon Fire Stick. Well, guess who is the biggest cloud server out there?
Amazon.
Who makes their money?
Amazon. Was smart.
Amazon does not make its riches. It makes its riches from selling, toilet paper and stupid stuff. But it has large government contracts. Like Microsoft has a lot of large government contracts. Well, bulk of its money come from doing cloud computing services. So it's possible what you're just saying is just a matter of time. While you think Amazon ain't thinking this already, you think Amazon ain't already hey, let us be the monopoly server for you. We already got the computing power. Now, baby, we have a little.
When I saw that team up, I was like, "This is genius."
That's just the beginning.
I thought it was genius.
But do y'all understand what I'm trying to say here?
Absolutely.
And I'm speaking. This is towards the people who are griping about the fact that, well, what about consoles? Nobody said the console had to go away.
Look, I'm gonna just tell you like this. I'm gonna tell you like this. Two things can be true, but also, what about consoles, buddy? That's how. Let me role play. If I'm the chairman of the board and you come up to me, Joe Blow gamer guy, I'm gonna laugh in your face. What about him?
You already bought it. And I agree with the cloud gaming thing. Here's the thing. What about consoles? It's gaming, guys. Here's the deal. Whether it's radio, whether it's a book, whether it's a comic book, whether it's TV, whether it's movies, it's just storytelling. Just like this, it could be on your phone, it could be on the Nintendo, it could be in the arcade. It's a game. Play the game. Enjoy the game. It doesn't matter. I don't care what it's plugged into. I just want to enjoy the game. I don't care what Doom is plugged into. I don't care what Halo is plugged into, what Need for Speed is plugged into, what Street Fighter is plugged into. I just want to play the game.
And I don't care if another brand.
Does the console really matter?
As a matter of fact, I wish more people I could, like, I'm not a PC guy just because of my setup. I would love to be able to play like these little weird beat 'em ups with Mike and just be like, oh, hey, you got it. For that wall to be gone. Sometimes it's starting to wash away, but I also don't care if Xbox gets something that Nintendo gets, or that I know Nintendo it ain't gonna listen. Excuse me, Sony gets, but bad decisions and some marketplace things, because until those things are smoothed out, Sony has the upper hand in their gaming division that Microsoft has. They're in a recouping mode, like Mr. Open Mind said earlier. If you understand this and understand business, then it will change. It will change back eventually, and it's going to ebb and flow. That is not the time right now.
But my plea to gamers, even gamers that are on Twitter, those people that, the people that hate Tekken because it's not as good as Tekken 7, the people that hate Street Fighter 6 because it's not as good as Street Fighter 5, and all that, and the RGT people and all those, isn't having more people playing what we want? Like, the more people playing means the more people spending money, which means the more people that are making this industry fruitful, strong, sturdy, solid, trustworthy.
Yes.
So we know it's not going to
theory-
go anywhere.
But listen. Let me play devil's gamers advocate here.
Uh-oh.
Devil's gamers advocate. This is, and I'm not saying this because I agree with it. I'm just kind of speaking some hard truth pill that these FGC, and now I'm going to aim at the FGC. Now,
oh boy, we know how they do.
Now. This is why they don't want that, nerd. This is why they don't want what you just said. Because they'll say on the social media that they want crossplay, that they want more people in the community. But what are they actually doing? Because I'm fighting these people. They're disconnecting.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get your account banned if you disconnect it, because they have because y'all know me, I'm not above disconnecting. If your server, if your internet is lagging,
if you keep crashing on a brother,
I
spark
they
at
call
zero.
it rage quitting. They call it rage quitting. Listen, y'all, I don't care what you think about me. I'm God of destruction, whether you like it or not.
Two times on
2 separate accounts. I will disconnect on you if your internet is laggy. But what I'm saying is, the truth is, because I'm fighting these people, not just on Tekken, fighting games, period. That's why I said FGC. Here's what they want. They want a smaller community because that gives them a better opportunity to climb to the top and say, see, I'm the best in the world. You're the best in the world amongst a small pool of players. What if everybody had access, Punk, the God, LTG, everybody who y'all worship in the FGC that's the best in the world, but not really the best in the world because it's a small pool of fighters. But anyway, I digress. What if everybody had access to the game you playing? You wouldn't be the best in the world. The only reason you're the best is because you're fighting the same 12 people. Also, and I don't mean 12 in the actual number. I mean a small pool.
I don't call myself a FG whatever fighting community guy. I like my one fighting game because I'm old. But if you get the game well in advance of everybody, you should be better at it. If you get a head start,
because we're also talking. We're also talking about
that,
people.
though. They don't want to talk about that, though, Coop. They don't want to talk about that.
You on the cut room floor. You to help produce the game.
You went.
3 months ago, you to fund the game.
You were hanging out with the people putting the game together. You was at Capcom.
Your 9 to 5 is playing and testing the game. Of course, you should be good.
Yeah, Ninja Killer and what's his name?
What for Power Rangers?
No, Ninja Killer the gamer. I'm not saying he's arrogant, but he's very, very pompous. And now the other one, what's his name? Not Punk the God, but Sonic Fox.
Oh, Sonic.
All of these air quote best in the world players, right? That the FGC worships like God. There's a God. He's a God, and if you're not them, if you ain't go to the majors, if you ain't won Evo, all these people. Okay, listen, they're the best amongst their small pool. I have fought not Sonic Fox, and I haven't fought Ninja Killer, but we all know I done beat Punk the God. We know that. We got footage of that. And other for pro players, right? Whose names now I ain't gotta mention all their names. I'm just saying those air quote best in the world fighting game players who got the big followings and get the invitation to Evo and never send me the invitation, even though I got footage of myself beating these guys. I never get an invitation. But anyway, what I'm saying is they're only the best in the world because they're fighting a small pool. If you give everybody cell phone access, iPhone access, Android access, as well as the handheld players and the console players, and everybody logged in and played, the people at the top would be different faces. I'm just saying, this is just basic math I'm giving y'all. This is not my opinion. This is not me just complaining. This is arithmetic
the field,
math.
You widen the field, your chances, your percentages go down. And I'm not even a gambler, but that's just what it is.
And the word here, and I'm about to pass the mic, is gatekeeping. That is the word. So back to your original point, NERDSoul. Back to your original point, because you asked, don't y'all want all these the devil's gamers advocate, everything I just ranted about, is the answer is no, NERDSoul. They don't want that.
No,
They don't
want it.
They want it to be exclusive because that then gives them a better chance to continue perpetuating
But
their
Mr.
fraudulent.
Boardman, whose stock is on the public market, like who is Pump? Who is
Yeah.
Ninja? Like I don't.
None
Okay,
of
great.
y'all matter in the
Like,
boardroom.
like at the end of the day, they can flip all of that in a minute. Like they can wipe out the FGC community in a week and be like,
because
hey,
I mean, think
none
about
of
it.
this
Like all
matters.
this stuff can go. I mean,
But
like for
like, let-
instance, all these things that we think are institutions, like what's okay, instead of trying to refocus their efforts, change up their business strategy, what if Microsoft tomorrow just said, you know what, look, we're losing money.
bruh, they
Xbox
can
is
cut.
done. We're not
They
making no
can
more
cut.
games. Whatever's left on the market is going to be
The
sold or
whole
given away.
division.
We don't care no more. Then y'all be crying.
The whole division can go, and trust me, that's how they work with these
Companies do that.
They do it all the
Let's
time.
not forget Pepsi just earlier this week. Pepsi laid off 500 plus employees
And bruh, speaking
because
of
see, they said 400, but they left out the amount of temporary and contract workers they had.
well,
They laid off well over 500 people.
400 is the first going, but hell, don't even look further past that. Microsoft
Yeah,
themselves,
Microsoft
just
laid off like
off
600 something people.
every quarter. It was like every quarter it was something.
650 to be exact.
It was all them numbers.
Yeah.
So if you got this going, so they got to do that to make the numbers balance. Because I hate when creatives. I'm sorry, y'all. I love you creatives out there. I ain't trying to be that dude. I
We
promise
love
you.
y'all, but we
I
be
know-
hating y'all.
I know y'all be like. I know they love to say us bean counters. I know. I had a degree in accounting. I ain't never really used it other than for finance and stuff. But finance is the key of the word. I know y'all hate us bean counters, but there's no such thing as a bottomless hole, y'all. And if you think it is, guess how somebody who got deep pockets got with deep pockets? Because their greed don't like to give up money.
Yeah,
I promise you.
The idea is to like make more than you spend. Hopefully,
You can hit a bottom. And if you running your business wrong, even though I know the world is a little changed, but they still do have some regulations out there. You like the banks don't lie. The banks can bail people out, but at the end of the day, rich people do like to help rich people, but then they go back in that room and like, all right, buddy. Hey, look, I was a bank regulator. I was training there. They'll cut each other some slack, but you best believe that bill does come due. And they'll try their hardest. They don't want to do it, but they like their green. You know.
And
Some
all we really saying is this: what we're saying versus what the fake gaming community says it wants. Because y'all are double talking at the end of the day, the gaming community out there. Y'all are double talking yourselves. You're contradicting, ironic, and all that stuff, oxymoronic, whatever. The truth. This is what y'all just gonna have to face as we continue into this future this Jetsons future that we're living in, and as it gets better and better and better. Please understand that consoles are going away at some point.
Yes, physical
Right.
stuff
And
will
if
be going away.
if y'all watch the previous episode me and NERDSoul did, towards the end of the video, I started to tell y'all about how AI is going to affect how holograms and stuff and how that stuff's going to kind of look. That's going to be more efficient, cost efficient, first of all, to even put on the market, and more accessible. As much as you complain about it, kicking and screaming about it, I don't want change, I like what I got right now. You're going to have to deal with it. You're either going to have to change or you're going to get left behind. Because if you think about the concept of cloud gaming, meaning however you enter, however you access this matrix that we're built, this Ready Player One matrix that we're going into, where however you enter, as long as you're there, you can enter through your cell phone, you can enter through your console, you can enter through your handheld. But as long as you're entering, you can enter through your Fire Stick. As long as you're jacked in and you're paying the service fee, that keeps them from laying people off, and that allows them to develop more games. If everybody's getting their salaries because they're selling copies, if I'm making an exclusive game for your one console community that you have, Xbox, PlayStation, PC, what have you, you're only going to sell but so many copies. This is basic math. This isn't my opinion. This isn't how I feel. This isn't my perception, my perspective. This is water is wet, grass is green, the wind blows, and gravity pulls. These are facts. This just is what it is. Trash is trash. You put it in a dumpster, and the trash man comes and picks it up. That's not my opinion. That is just how the world works.
The truth is, a subscription fee has less waste with it. You know, you gotta have. It takes power, oil, plastics to make these boxes. It takes manpower to build the thing and they don't want to do it.
Y'all not getting
the manufacturing of it. You have to have the design fees to make it look good, because it doesn't all. It now it universally looks good, but back in the day, the Famicom didn't look like. They had to redesign it for North America because of our taste. Now they kind of like, all right, we're a global community. Y'all know enough about us. Same thing with anime. Y'all know the world has shrunk. But it used to have to deal with cultural differences, and you still have to localize things internally on the software, because hell, the energy, the flow of energy ain't the same from Europe to America to China to Asia. So you have to deal with those things. You have to design the hard labor of manufacturing this to actually make it work, because it's not a universal thing because of power. The simple concept of electricity does not work all around in every single continent.
And I'm gonna tell you, even when you travel abroad and you try to use that little adapter, that voltage be off, bruh.
So eventually,
just put it this way before we transition to the next topic. Exclusivity is not going to make you as much money as accessibility. Let me say it again. Let me say it again. Let me say it again for the people in the back. Let me say it again for the people in the back. Exclusivity is not going to make you as much money as accessibility. So in order for any company, entity to survive whatever they're doing, you have to give people access to the thing that you're making or selling. So to complain and say, I just want this game to be on PlayStation only, Xbox only, PC only, Nintendo Switch only, whatever the only is, fill in that only blank. Then that company is slaved and tethered to just you and nobody else, unless they purchase the exclusive console. Because even if they buy the console to play the exclusive game, they're still not making as much money if they could have made if they gave it to everybody else and having to get however the access is it. If they're accessing it through their phone, like I said, through their phones, their tablets, their Fire Sticks, their PlayStations, their Xboxes, or their PCs, or their Nintendo Switches, or their handhelds, or their what's the PC thing? What's the PC thing called? The PC handheld called?
About like the Steam, about the
Steam Deck. Okay,
Steam Deck, and then you have Steam Deck.
Whatever that is for you. I believe in competition. I believe in option. That part I believe in. I'm not saying go away and let everybody get one device and play. No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying let competition reign, because that's what capitalism is. Capitalism is competition, and that's okay. But there's 8.5 billion humans on Earth and counting. It's perfectly fine to have the option to get a cell phone to play a game, a handheld to play a game, a PC, an Xbox. That's fine, and it's fine for everybody to have their personal flavor. If you want to stick to Xbox and be loyal to Xbox, I'm telling you to be loyal to Xbox. I'm not telling you to come over here to PlayStation because I'm on PlayStation. What I'm saying is give me a copy of the game on PlayStation, and you can have the copy of the game on Xbox, and we both can play it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And more to your point, can I just throw this analogy in there?
Go ahead.
And let's just take it from a winning position. And let's just start from the top. Nintendo as a game, it's a pure game company, and hell, as a entertainment company, because they are that. Their movie is super successful. Other things in their brand recognition is so damn strong. They don't have to give you accessibility. They know their power. When you look at it, when you go down the line, PlayStation they done work behind the scenes. Like, look, y'all. Blah, 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 whoop de whoop. Let's make this number work. And then you got these idiot fanboys. I'm sorry you bought the third place thing. The third place thing, that's like saying my team, the Saints. Look, my team, the Saints, they suck right now. That's like saying they don't draft a better quarterback. We're going to keep running Derek Carr, sorry, but out there. In fact, we're going to keep spending money with Derek Carr. Now there's a loyalist that's gonna keep coming to the game, but they
Yeah.
may not sell as many jerseys. They may not sell as many tickets. They may not sell as many beer that need to cover the Little Caesars. Well, the Little Caesars, the Caesars Playbook, whatever Superdome used to be Mercedes Benz. Is something else now, but Caesar Palace Superdome. That stuff started dwindling. People start losing jobs immediately.
Yep.
Like there's gonna be less need for ticket takers, vendors, other stuff, and then you got less money coming in. So, but let's say when you the Chicago Bulls, and when you was the Chicago Bulls in the 90s, after Dennis Rodman. Notice I said after Dennis Rodman. Then you was the top of the top. You didn't have to change stuff. But when Jordan came back with the 4-5, he got his butt kicked by Penny and Shaq. Jordan like, hey, I need some changes. You go get me Dennis Rodman. You go get me this. You go get me that. And you go spend this money. And you go up my pay. And I'll come improve and we'll see what happens. What happened? It worked out. They made the top record. Only wasn't tied until Golden State tied it, even though they lost the championship. It took that long to do it. So changes have to be made when you're not in a winning position.
Yeah, and they're trying to, like, we should be happy that a company is actually trying out of the box solutions that are either tangentially related or close to their wheelhouse to be able to stay afloat instead of just saying, hey, well, you know what? Xbox no more. Peace out.
Yes. And not only stay afloat, but maybe once they come out the other side of it, set the tone for the future.
Because I'm going to keep it real with y'all. That Amazon Fire Stick Xbox bundle that they got on sale for just $80. So you mean for $80 I can have an Xbox experience? You best believe Santa Claus is coming to town this year. I'm just letting y'all know.
And people going to spend that $80 versus spending $500 on a whole
Thank
Xbox
you.
X Series S.
That would actually give me an option to try something that, like, let's say if it was exclusive. Now, I'm just gonna wait for the PlayStation version because I know that pisses them off, but hey, I ain't come up with the idea. Like I can just wait. I got my plastic box that's gonna eventually get enough everything.
But see, that's the thing. Since they win on the software side too, they can start to peel back a little bit on their hardware and just go in and make the money off the licensing of their software. Because trust me, if PlayStation gets Doom, they ain't getting Doom for free.
No.
Right? If Nintendo gets Doom or Indiana Jones, they're not getting it for free.
Yeah, it's
this
not
is
like
how Microsoft tries to supplement its business so that we can all play together and people can keep jobs.
Yeah, and they can keep and best believe that license. If you want to get dirty, because this is gaming, say, all right, look, y'all. Hey, if you own a Nintendo or a Xbox, maybe the consumer don't have this issue, but it works the same way as cable. Let's say they have to pay an annual fee or so many years of this. You buy it and just say, all right, you don't want to buy it through Xbox? All right, the people you bought this through, they better come with that money or your game could just shut off.
Remember what happened with DirecTV?
That's with ESPN and Disney, the rate keep going up. What do? They kick ESPN off. ESPN is always the thing that get kicked off because they ain't come with that money. They're like, this license is due. Screw you. Yeah. Holla at your people.
Everything costs money. We gotta pay people's salaries, man. Y'all can't just be out here I'm the only one get to make money and everybody else gotta bow to me. No, man, we not. No matter how much, because y'all voted for Trump. Those of y'all out there, no matter how much you want an oligarchy and a dictator overlord over you, that's just bad for business, right? For just one of you or a few of you to have access to the thing, and the rest of us just got to sit back and hope. No, man, that's just not. The math is never going to math. Like y'all always like to say on the timeline.
Yo, man, I be trying to say, like, yo, we could be Star Trek. But y'all be wanting Blade Runner too bad. You know what I'm saying? Right. Y'all be wanting that Ghost in the Shell too bad.
I still laughing at these. I don't understand people younger than us in their 30s, in their 20s. Everything should be physical. Like, y'all, I get it. It was cool. It's a beautiful dream. I promise you it's a beautiful dream. I love my old man gaming sensibilities, and I touch a game and I go to GameStop and I hug it. I tuck it in at night. It feels great. Mario winks at me, I wink at Mario, and I kiss him on the forehead, and it's like, look,
Ain't
you
all
go
that,
see,
man.
The
Look,
But I'm
change,
just
the
saying,
change gonna come, bro.
these
Change gonna
things
come.
are going away. When
yeah,
it's like this, it's so bruh. I'm like, I know I ain't that smart, but these people making me feel like I'm smarter than what I should be. When Walmart, Best Buy, Target, all the big places that retail these things more than your mall. The mall is dying. We done
yeah. The
talked about this
malls
on
are in
Mall is
trouble
several
for
dead.
real.
several
The mall is
videos.
dead.
The mall is on a steady decline every year. Go listen to us talk about shout out to NERDSoul. We talked about TJ Maxx and the off price
Oh
stuff.
boy.
That ties into this. It's on shoe.
Yeah,
So
all this
so
stuff is connected, y'all.
all these things are connected. Real estate money and all these things move. But if the big
Mhm.
places that sell stuff, but Amazon is saying we don't want to sell this stuff, what do you think happened to said stuff? It
Yeah, it's
goes
gonna die.
away.
It goes away. They can't if they can't put it on the shelf for you to go buy the physical thing, young people that y'all want that's physical.
GameStop.
And I want
They
to speak
don't
to that.
really want it. It's like
Right. I was just
it's
gonna
a
say
way
that
to
because
seem cool.
It's
I was
I
just
get
going to say
it.
that they just griping and complaining because the truth is how they act, what you say versus what you do, right?
Exactly.
The numbers are the math that y'all keep saying ain't mathing. Y'all right, y'all math ain't mathing because you're
Bruh.
saying you want physical stuff, but you're not going out there
I
to buy physical stuff.
watched a video about the death of the midnight release. I don't know if I gave it to you, Mike, but they talked about the video. They showed a video of that, like, and this dude, he was doing the nostalgia thing, but I give him this act man. I don't know how his channel usually is, but I saw this on my timeline. I had to click on it. Dope video minus a couple of things. I was like, all right, dude. But that he didn't have to put in there. But at the same time, when he talked about how the numbers, which you can manipulate numbers, but sometimes is the purpose to manipulate it. And he's like, I say all these things, but he said realistically, the companies make more money by you not going to the midnight release, not going out there physically, because they don't have to have extra hours. Goes back to cost accounting. I ain't got to have an employee there. I ain't got to have security there. I ain't got to do all these elaborate things to have you there. I ain't got to have pizza, food, items.
Also, you can
all
see
these-
this. Also, you can say you the first one that got it, and it ain't but like 100 of
you.
y'all people in the parking lot. See, that's back to business.
Like-
back to business. Back to business.
It
Back
don't
to the
matter,
business
y'all.
aspect.
Sprinkled in the parking lot.
you
It's like,
sprinkle it
up.
up.
it's not
Oh,
that
man.
many of y'all out there. It's a crowd, yes. It's a long
Yeah.
Don't get
line,
me
yes.
wrong.
But in the grander scheme of things, it's not enough of y'all, man. It's
But
just
then
not
if you
enough of
crazy-
y'all.
It's not enough. It's
And
not
you know what
enough
video
to matter for real.
he kept
Like,
showing?
it was cool because you got to meet people and hang out with people. But on the business side, it's like, okay, we had to pay for extra security. We had to do extra hours. Since it's late, we probably had to pay. I forgot.
Pay
You,
extra-
you know how you get paid more when you work late. So
Overtime.
they had to.
Yes,
yeah, they had to.
overtime. You got
They
to
had to
pay
work
the
either overtime hours, but there's also
insurance. You might have to get
when you
extra
work after
insurance,
10,
Ryder.
some people give you like $2 extra per hour because you're working late
But-
or something like that.
Per
Can't
diem.
remember.
Per diem.
If you don't own the building, you might have to pay an extra insurance rider because of crazy people. So
Yep.
there's that.
Pizza.
Yep.
I went to places that had DJs and stuff there, keeping people. So there's all these things. Now, was it fun? Was it a fun time? Yes, but the time is gone, guys. It's gone. Just remember it how it was. It's just like people in New York trying to pretend like New York is as cool as it was in the early 90s. It's just
It's not.
It's the only place for
You know
hip
what I'm
hop.
saying? New York.
Which it ain't.
New
It's
York
not.
was cool back then, but it's really just riding off of the coolness that it had in the 90s. And
New York
we're not
is that.
mad
New York
about
is
it.
that. New York is that high school kid that's like 35, still talking about what he used to be back
you
in
know
the day.
what?
He's still wearing the
That's what
same
New York
do rag.
That's the typical
He's still making it
like
wave.
mindset of a New Yorker. It's like when it comes to hip hop, it's like, yo, we was this, we was that. Yeah, back in the day, not right now.
And
Yeah,
We
so
live in it
it's
now,
like
man.
those moments were awesome. They are no more. But we can make new moments, guys. We can make new moments. We can do new events. We can have something different. All right. It doesn't mean that it's over. I mean, it doesn't mean that we can never have get-togethers again. Those get-togethers can't happen, but we can have new ones.
Yeah,
All right. So don't just because
and
someone wants everybody to be able to play, don't be mad. You still got your Xbox. It didn't
thank you.
disappear.
And he's mentioning, he's like, hey, we still can produce that same feeling at cons or certain events, but he said it's over. Like GameStop is on the verge of closing each year. I know people still don't believe that because y'all fell for them. I hope you got your money through the stocks.
Look, I'm telling you like this, but GameStop is still standing because GameStop is a money laundering operation for somebody. There's no way this place has been on the verge of bankruptcy for 35 years. All right.
I mean, it did.
I agree with that. They definitely will launder some money to stay afloat because they dang sure ain't selling no games like that.
Bruh, they don't even sell the games that people buying because they don't. First of all, a lot of the indie games that are popular, you can't even get at GameStop because there's no physical. You have to get it from limited, certain places. So, yeah, the math ain't mathing, but also they have a deep pocketed person running it, and eventually, I'm telling you, when he gets tired, I think it's the dude who owns Chewy. That's where he made his billionaire.
Oh, okay.
His billionaire. So that's why it's able to stay afloat. And he also pimped the game with the whole pump and dump and playing that. He was a part of that movement. That's how he was able to kind of take over GameStop before he kind of helped start that movement, or he was in on it. So he owns it. And now that the movement and the dust and fell off, it's kind of like you hear rumblings. He'll kind of pop up, be like, you'll hear people talk about GameStop. Once you get past the ones who hate it, that a few millionaires came out of it. Some normal people like us actually got lucky. It was luck. They caught it at the wave through that Reddit post, and they put like all their money, but they was gambling. All right,
like all the people that caught that early wave,
you had to catch
and put
it
their
the first
whole
2 months.
paycheck in that joint. They came off.
Yes,
but everybody else, nah, man.
Everybody else was there to be used for the bigger people, the big whales, to try to bet against the other whales who was trying to crash it. It was basically a rich man game playing war. Some of us won, a lot of us won, a lot of us lost. So, it's just one side or the other. So it's like GameStop ain't really like, they sell games, but don't get it twisted. Like now they kind of, I don't know if to say desperate, but now they got the retro thing. Now they jumping on the retro thing, and they selling reproductions too. Not that I care, because I'm not a collector and I'm not into artificially overpriced games from the 90s. But when that bubble bust, and they might help bust the retro market, because they don't care, because it's their company. What will GameStop be then? Like, what is the next stop after the retro market bubble finally explode? Because only so many people can buy that. I don't know what's the game they always buy for Super Nintendo that's popular, or the little Samson. So many kids can only care so many generations, and I think this is gonna be the last one. I don't think their kids are gonna care about the NES. Yes, if you got people like Retro Rick and his kids have been brainwashed into it. I mean, or taught. I didn't want to say brainwashed. I like Retro Rick. But when there's those generations of influencers and stuff, and they're too old to do it anymore, do they kids take up the mantle, or do they be like, sell all this garbage? Be good. Like, sell this.
Retro for them is going to be the PS5. But anyway, I'll throw it over to Open Mind. Open Mind, holla at us. Give me your final thoughts, and where can they find you?
Final thoughts, and this is the last thing I'm going to say about cloud gaming, y'all. And NERDSoul, you touched on this earlier in the show. It's more cost efficient to stop making hardware, CDs, physical copies of stuff, because first of all, it's killing the economy. It's killing the environment. And if you make and I too like physical stuff too. Now, I'm not saying I don't like it, but I'm saying I understand the transition, the cost efficiency of it, the saving of the environment of it, and the fact that the only thing I say I want them to do is come down on the price of these games when you download the file, because hey, I'm downloading a file that I can't return to GameStop and trade in. And if you're giving me the file instead of the hard copy, I know what math is. I know a little bit about business. It's not costing you nearly as much to just give me the file
Yeah,
than it is to make the
why is
disc.
this digital $85?
Yeah, the digital portion of it, which it'll eventually come down because once they start competing, having these competing markets, they ain't gonna have no choice but to come. These games ain't gonna be $69, $79, $99 no more. They're gonna have to be like $39, $40. But I'm saying having cloud access to gaming as a whole, no specific console, just cloud access to gaming, period, is more cost efficient and more accessible to the rest of the communities who just feel like buying a console is just not in their budget. They want a game. They would love to be a gamer. They would love to join us in the FGC, the shooting games, the sports games, whatever genre that they like, but they just don't feel comfortable shelling out that much money for that hardware that costs $600-$700 just to have the box so that you can buy the game. But if they can put it on their cell phone, they can put it on their tablet, they can put it on their Fire Stick or whatever the access point is, and it's just a subscription fee to buy into the cloud gaming service to then download the games you like. That will then open up a bigger, wider range pool of players, for one, and for two, that'll keep all these companies in business. It will allow that high school kid that's coming up that wants to get into the tech world, the gaming world, to have a future career in it, and not it being so shaky. Because hey, I want to be a game developer when I get out of high school. I want to go to college for tech for whatever reason. Okay, well, there's a place for them, because games are now cloud. And all they gotta do is be a dev or designer, whatever path they end up following. That then opens up careers and literal job. It creates jobs. You know, they're gonna get. It's not that they're getting rid of a job by no longer making the hardware. They're creating a new job. It's all it is. It's just a transition. It's not it's a removal of something. It's a getting rid of something, but it's replacing it with something. See, I'm open mind. That means I don't think one track in my mind. I'm not tunnel in my vision. Open mind means my mind is open to other things. We're not just getting rid of something. We're replacing it with something. So I've gotten rid of this, but I replaced it with that. That's all we did. They didn't get rid of it and it's just gone. They replaced it, improved upon it, evolved it, made it better, whatever you want to say. And that then makes it cost efficient. That lets everybody have a job, all the DLCs that you want, the games that you wish they make part 2 and 3 and 4 of. Can y'all make a part 3? I remember this game, man. They need to remake this game. Well, they can remake that game because it's now cloud. It's cloud and you can get it and everybody can access it. So I'm just saying, our gaming minds, the gamers out there who come across this video, and I'm passing the mic, just get some small, just a little bit, just the table of contents. I don't care. Just get a little bit of education on business. If you're just reading the table of contents version of some business stuff, you ain't got to go on start a business and be an entrepreneur. Understand how business works, and that will kill a lot of your gripes. I'm talking about not every gripe, but you're gonna have the answer to the question that you're asking before you even make the post on social media, because you understand business. And with that, I'm open mind, spell it with a Y. I've deactivated my Twitter. I'm no longer on Twitter no more, but I am on Blue Sky, which is Jack Dorsey's new Twitter. It's just called Blue Sky. It's got a blue icon with a butterfly on it. Open mind, spell it with a Y. I just transitioned from over there. I am open mind, spell it with a Y, on Threads. And of course, Open Mind 82 on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel. I'm a gamer, about to put out some more content here in the future. Corrupt is on the way. We can't wait for Corrupt to actually hit the market, because me and NERDSoul gonna be on that Corrupt on heavy for y'all.
Gonna be sweet.
Heavy. We're gonna be heavy on that Corrupt. I'm telling you, when Corrupt officially releases, it'll be on PC first, and it'll make its way to the consoles after that, according to what Jesse said. The last Twitter I saw, because I ain't got Twitter no more. The last tweet Jesse put out was something to the effect of he's gonna put Corrupt on the rest of the consoles, but it's gonna officially release on PC first. Once that game comes out on PlayStation, I'm gonna be on it heavy, making content, live stream content, or just clips of me fighting. You know what I'm saying? With my hip hop on it, y'all. Follow me, holla at me, help me grow my space. Pass the mic.
All right, word up, and over to Coop. Final thoughts. Where can they find you?
Final thoughts. Second, what Open Mind said, y'all, just anything with nerdy stuff from anime to especially DC and Marvel, anything publicly traded, please, and Disney, read the. I know it's boring. I know it hurts your soul for some reason. All the entertainment sites when they have their big meetings, stuff that like people, important big time people who run Disney, told you what was gonna happen long ago. People told people long ago. And I know me and Mike laugh about it because he don't like spoilers per se. But I read these things and I know some things because it's already been said by said important person. Like, yeah, Batman ain't gonna show up in a Penguin. Spoiler, sorry, but they already said that. They said that 2 years ago.
They gave you a little inkling in there. They gave you a little baby piece in the end.
But people was legit shocked, like, oh, well, how can you do this? They told you. The man who created it
called The Penguin, bruh.
That's how stupid people are.
Now, I do understand. I wouldn't have minded a throwaway line about him, but I assume, like Solar said in our review, apparently whatever's going on must be serious because a huge explosion went on and there was no response. So
he's one. And he also said he's one man.
Yeah, he's one man by himself.
So what that said is that, y'all, these people would love to be able to cater to your whims and be able to do everything. But at the end of the day, they are greedy, multinational, publicly traded companies. Mm-hmm. When the stock drops, even if money is there in their pocket, they don't treat it that way. They treat it as they have lost their ability to make money. So when the stock is the value of their making money ability, they get nervous. Heads roll, this and that. You can't ignore the signs of the future, especially if you're a young person. Don't look. I'm 43, y'all. We should not be ahead of the game. Now, us millennials had to kind of stay ahead of the game. I'm not a big computer savvy person. I can use a computer, but to understand these things, I'm worried about some folks falling for these influencer okadoke. Look, I might be an influencer, content creator, podcast, whatever, but also kind of I'm not big time enough. Nobody's ain't paying me to lie to you. I'll say that. Now they pay me the right money. I'll be RTG85.
Man, I want somebody to pay me $10 million.
I'll tell the company like they should keep making physicals. Wow, but yet he says that stuff. These people say stuff, and then they get a digital copy to review the game. How does that work out? They telling you one thing, and they're doing another and getting paid for it. I'm just saying, folks. Use your knowledge to make money yourself. You know, maybe you might find stock in different things. Maybe you might save money, this and that. But also, it's okay for people to have access to things. Unfortunately, this topic is bigger than just gaming, but I ain't even gonna go there. It's okay for people to have access to what you have, and it don't diminishing you. It's okay. Like, I'm gonna just take a shot. Like somebody told me, it's okay if student loans got deleted. It doesn't penalize you. Okay, you know, it's okay for people to have things. It doesn't make you any less than. But you know, follow what the hell the companies are going to tell you. Don't they tell you a thing, or don't fall for it when Phil Spencer tell you this. It's like, ask yourself, who is Phil Spencer's boss? Is it a shady cabal businessman who like to make money that run Microsoft? Okay, then.
A shady cabal.
When they, like, honestly, yeah, we know Phil might have got ahead of himself for this and that, but man, when you got to kiss the ring, you got to kiss the ring in that boardroom, or they will chop your head off. And Phil likes making money. All right, let's just keep it real. And then honestly, it is also a good business decision in the long run. It can turn out to be a great decision. You can't, if you're the loser in the market, you can't keep running the race and think you're going to all of a sudden be like Naruto and jump ahead and be like, I believe it. No. And that's how it works. Sometimes you got to zag the other way, cut them off at the pass, chop them off at the knees, and run around because business is dirty. I'm sorry. It sounds crazy, but it's like, all right, I can't do this race. I'm going to just cross the field. So with that said, it's just like, man, you get mad at Phil. Yeah, I do. On one side, consumer, he fell for it, but at the end of the day, there's no need to puff your chest about it because Phil ain't the boss of Xbox. It is the Microsoft board. When the board says something, it's gonna happen. The board allowed them to buy Activision. I still see people report wrong about stuff, and I know I'm jumping around and I'm gonna shut up about how people who bought like say Crunchyroll, people will be like, oh, they'll say it's so wrong. They'll be like, and Funimation bought Crunchyroll. No, Sony bought Crunchyroll and changed Funimation name to the stronger brand name and kept the Crunchyroll name. That's how business works. But I see this reported and said so wrong by people who have not a damn clue, and I just be wanting to correct them. But I'll be like, you know what? Nah, keep reporting this wrong stuff, because if you don't choose to learn or choose to get it right or listen to some people, you're just gonna always be the tail and not the head. And Microsoft don't want to be the tail no more. They at least want to be a part of the net. Nintendo gonna be the head for the next about 10 years, at least.
In other words, you got to take the L to get the dub sometime, and that's a fighting game. That's a fighting game mindset that I have. You got to take the L to get the dub.
You're losing right now. How do I become a winner? How do I at least stay in the game, or do I have to pass the stick? And eventually, if I got to pass the stick, well, then y'all people who follow me, I'm just gonna throw y'all off a cliff because it's over. You know, it's like I can't. You know, y'all done bought this already. I need more people to keep buying this. Y'all ain't doing y'all part of this Ponzi scheme. So it's like you said, open mind. The hardcore gamers. It's all about the hardcore gamers, the hardcore movie watchers, the hardcore comic books. All of that is some hogwash. They constantly need new people to feed these things, to feed these beasts. Marvel would not be Marvel if the casual comer didn't go in to make these movies $1 billion seller. It was just people who bought
it's not gonna survive on like hardcore comic book readers alone.
Bruh, they only keep the comic books because it might look like a bad, some things you just have to have.
And it's also a way to farm brand new ideas for young up and coming creators that don't know that every single piece of their IP that they create while they work for Marvel is owned by Marvel. But that's a whole other conversation for another time.
Idea farming, IP farming. They own you. So it's just like
I got this great idea for Deadpool. Really? Bring it to us.
It's mine.
I got this great idea for Captain America.
And look, don't let it be WB. Look, they own Shang-Chi. They gonna put Shang Tsung out there. He gonna be like, your soul is mine. Your idea is mine. it's sucking up out of you. But anyway, y'all, look, I have fun with this. At the end of the day, it's fun to laugh at some of the foolishness of Xbox, but I gotta commend them. Don't keep doing something stupid if you can change for the better to give us something, and then you might be on the cutting edge. Because Nintendo, as of right now, is Nintendo. Sony is the bully that's taking Xbox money, but they also paying them to take their money. So who's pimping who? Eventually, that could change. Right now, Sony is kind of beating them up, punching them in the gut. They might turn around and punch Sony in the gut. Them two gonna be knocking each other. That's just how it's gonna work right now. Until, maybe Daddy Nintendo pass away, Uncle Nintendo lose a little money. But guess what he don't do? Make stupid mistakes.
Yeah, Nintendo has made like one mistake in his whole history? Like
maybe like 2 or 3. And then they recover and then they change their philosophy, because what they call it, the blue sky or blue open mind philosophy is like, or blue ocean. They know like we ain't gonna waste money on making the great hardware. We can do it, but we'll lose money. Or can we make you appreciate our brand and our simplicity and our consistency? And when we make a game, it generally isn't bug ridden or broke, because we're not trying to make a big open world online experience. We're just now getting back to that. And eventually, all right, the Switch 2 will have enough power and it'll be just enough to do it. And who's so happy about it? Capcom. All these other people, these other developers, SNK, they like, thank you, Uncle Nintendo. Thank you for making another powerful system so we have more games to sell to your large player base. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you and we love you. We're going to give you all our IP. Capcom is already in the process of doing it. Like, that's why you think all these things are coming back. FGC. Y'all get, because FGC, I'm going to say this open mind, they get so mad when Nintendo gets something. Why they get so mad
Man,
with
they
Nintendo?
They get look. The FGC are a bunch of degenerate people, bro. Like they rage quit in
You
real
ain't gonna
life.
say degenerate though.
Bruh, they be so bad. Like Nintendo should be better.
They
Like it's
they're
going
some of the most disgruntled gamers. The FGC sector of the gaming community is not the worst. One of the worst groups of people who log into the gaming world. They are so toxic and miserable and depressing and
I
negative, and it's just.
I read these comments on people like FG when I was watching him, and the people make these stupid comments. I'm like, y'all know Nintendo ain't stupid, right? They just cut bait and they're ahead of the game now, and they're the most liquid Japanese gaming company. You know who would have loved that? Sega. Sega had to cut bait and become just software so they can be on the Nintendo platform. They rival. They were like, hey, Nintendo. They're like, don't forget about me, buddy. I'm bringing you some games on Monday. Ha ha ha. I love you.
Look, like I
Take
said
my
at the top
games.
of the show, Nintendo is the rich uncle that live out there in the boondock, and he got a big ranch with 15 acres. He been rich all your life. You don't know why he rich or how he got there.
Right.
You just know that's your uncle, and he got a whole lot of money. And every time you see him, he's like he never gets old. He's just looking better every time you see him.
And then I'm gonna say where you can find me. You remember on Back to the Future when they changed the future, and then Biff was working for Marty's dad after he talked about how he socked him in the face. That's Mario having Sonic go wash his car. Get his car ready.
Dang, that's cold, man. That's
Be
cold.
like, hey man, we used to fight back in the day.
I think everybody, black, white, Asian, whatever your race is, you got a rich uncle or a grandpa or cousin, but he's like an older guy. He's like 60 something. He's like
he had money all your life. You ain't never
He's
seen
had
him
money
looking bad.
all your life. You don't know if he sell drugs. You don't know what he do. You just know every time you visit him, he got a brand new Ferrari in the driveway.
But guess what, though?
Joint.
Here's the beautiful part of it. His servant, Sega, is also richer now, though, for working for him. It has a better life.
Has a better life.
so I'm just saying, he's like, hey man, he got me off the street. He got me, man. He taught me things. All I gotta do is wash the car every week. You know, I'm just saying, I don't ask no questions, and you better not ask none either. So with that said, y'all, I'm Keith Cooper. Find me also on Threads. Find me on Facebook if you ain't stupid. Find my business page, Blur's page. If you're in South Louisiana and Lafayette tomorrow, find me at the Loose Caboose, selling books to the community and folks who want to read.
It's fundamental, y'all.
Reading is fundamental. Yeah,
you're gonna find me there. You're gonna follow my social media, also Blur.ish on IG. You're gonna see all the things I'm getting amped up for. I'm about to wear my body out to try to get you those holiday gifts. Also, my merch is on sale. It's backed by TeePublic. If you use the link where you find my link through the IG and other stuff on the link tree, it will help us, support us. And of course, you can buy a lot of books as well through my third-party store that's on Bookshop. So all of it's on Linktree. Man, get some dope merch, read. Dope merch, read, and game.
Yep, you know what I'm saying? So with that said, I guess just remember that the more people that can play, the better it is. It's better for them, it's better for us. We all gonna have a good time, and we'll be able to play together. You'll be able to call up a friend and say, hey, do you have this? They'll say, of course I have this, because I can play it on any platform. So yeah, of course I got it. You know what I'm saying? And then they can log in, you can log in, y'all can play together, finish the campaign or fight against one another. Tag
crossplay may actually become a thing.
Yeah, let cloud gaming, live, and let Xbox's renewed outreach, you know what I'm saying? Let them try this. Let them see what they can do instead of just stomping over it immediately. You know what I'm saying? Give them a chance. And you know what I'm saying? Don't be so old shaking your fist at the sky. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, nerds. So that's the adult thing to say. The truth is, they don't want everybody to have access because they want to be the best in the world. But
oh, man. True that. So with that said, of course, NERD, SOUL, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, podcast, all that jazz, and maybe Blue Sky, and maybe less Twitter.
Yeah, less Twitter.
Because I already took Twitter off my phone. So I mean,
Twitter.
Twitter might be gone.
You see why I don't
I
get
might
it.
hold my name on there, but
fact-
I'd be Ghostface Killer on that.
In fact,
I'm
Mike,
out of Twitter.
that's a good example. See, I was so terrible at Twitter. I'm ahead of the game. I ain't never put it on my phone. I'm
He said, I'm so far ahead of y'all. I never had it.
Look,
I'm so far behind. I'm ahead.
look. Jack Dorsey is the original Twitter owner. Jack Dorsey now has Blue Sky. It's been in beta forever. It's launched today. I made my account. I'm gonna grow it from bottom up, like I did Twitter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I fox with Jack Dorsey. I don't fox with Elon Musk.
That
so
man.
I'm gonna do Blue Sky.
Talk about come up. Got 50. How many billion? And then went back and remade Twitter after getting the money.
He made. I mean, because I'm on it
gangster.
now. I just created my account. I'm on it now. It's like a clean version of Twitter.
Yeah,
It's like a lot cleaner.
The same color,
I
the
ain't
same
seen
interface.
one ad yet.
Right. Listen,
Now, I mean, that might change in the years coming, but I mean, I ain't
Probably,
seen one ad yet.
Look, Jack Dorsey's so gangster with it. He sold Elon Musk Twitter just to take all his Twitter followers back over and let them migrate over there. He already got 3 million subscribers just today. Just in one day, he's amassed 3 million people that have Blue Sky accounts and growing. So give him about 2-3 years. He'll have his Twitter back, but it won't be called Twitter. It'll be called Blue Sky.
All it takes is for WB, Disney, all the people who like follow us on Twitter to be like, follow us on Blue. Remember when it wasn't no Twitter? Then all of a sudden, and it's crawl, hey, follow this Twitter. All it takes is that one person, that one big company, follow us on such and such. When it hits ESPN and all the celebrities start saying, oh man, that Blue Sky, then it's gonna become lexicon into the world, into the word.
There are already blue checks on Blue Sky already.
Of course.
There are already blue checks. Verified accounts.
How they got
already
blue checks already? Oh God.
I'm on the timeline. I'm looking at them. Stephen King. Stephen King has a blue check already.
Give him the blue check. At least he uses blue check.
Let me find Open Mind. He already on here. But anyway, y'all, look, we love all y'all. Keep playing games. It doesn't matter what game. It doesn't matter whether it's on your console, whether it's on your phone. I don't care if you playing Bejeweled. You're a gamer. All right?
Yep.
So from us to you, we're just saying peace.
Ready for Power Rangers. Beat them up. This is the beat them up.